Hello Freedom Seekers, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. Well, like I normally start off my videos, it is a beautiful Sunday morning here in southeastern Michigan. We've got a lot on our plates. Sap season is pretty much over. We bottled our last bit of syrup last night. I will have a video coming out about some of the improvements we made this year and things we're going to be making over the year in order to make our sap season a little more successful next year. However, today is going to be all about something new. Okay, I may have been a little ambitious there. It's not all about something new, but we are preparing for new things here on the homestead. And the first thing that we're going to be getting this next week coming up is some brand new Californian breeding stock. We have been looking for some new rabbits here casually for a few months, and when I saw some come up on a local rabbit group, I decided to go ahead and make the move, put down a deposit, and get this breeding stock. Here's why. Most of our rabbits are starting to just reach that age where they're not successful in breeding, right? So we've got does that are going on 3 and 4 years old, bucks that are pushing 3 and 4 years old. And so it's time to get some new blood into our bunny barn. And so that's what we're working on today. Well, that's one of the things we're working on today. Caleb and I are working hard to get some cages cleaned, to get some things put away, and to work on getting some new spaces ready for these new rabbits. But in that, it's not just about cleaning out cages, it's about sanitizing cages, because not only are we concerned about having space for the new rabbits, we're also concerned about biosecurity for the new rabbits and for our existing rabbits. So I've talked about biosecurity before, but it's important that anytime you bring a new animal onto the homestead, whether it is sheep, goats, pigs, if you have existing creatures here that are of the same species, it's important to practice biosecurity. So two things are going to happen as we prepare for these rabbits. The first thing is that we're going to completely clean out the bunny barn. We're going to take out the cages. The cages are going to be sanitized using a weed burner. Gets up to like 30,000 BTUs. Now we don't want to hold the flame over the cage for so long that we cause the cage to turn cherry red, because it's going to burn off the galvanization. But what we are doing is we're going through burning off all the hair, because that's some of the most difficult things to remove off the cages, and letting the heat last just long enough on the surface of the cages to sanitize them, just enough to burn those things off the surface. So that's what Caleb's over there doing right now. I've already burned off a couple cages, but Caleb's scraping down the areas. So the plan is that all of the rabbits that are currently in the bunny barn are going to be going to some of these outside cages. And once we have the bunny barn completely emptied of rabbits, we're going to do the same thing for those cages. We're going to pull them out, we're going to scrape off any buildup, and we're going to burn them clean with the weed burner. And the last thing we're going to do in the bunny barn before we're completely 100% ready for the new rabbits is we're going to dust in there. We're going to spray down all of the walls and all of the existing plastic paneling with a bleach solution in order to kill off anything that might be there. And we're also going to be replacing our poop chute. We've been having our poop slide, it's going on 5 years old now. It has been made out of a corrugated plastic, the Coroplast, and while it's done a good job, it's just kind of not aged well. So what I've got is some corrugated metal roofing that we picked up when we bought stuff for the sheep shed, very cheaply, very inexpensively. And I'm going to cut down some of that paneling and put it in there for new poop chutes. This is going to be more rigid, a little easier to sanitize, because the metal doesn't have all of the little ridges and stuff in it that the plastic has that can hold bacteria. And so it's just going to be a matter of getting things completely 100% ready for these new rabbits. And while Caleb and I are working on the rabbits and getting things set up for the new breeding stock, Luke's been cleaning up in the garden. Well, we call it the garden, but it's just the fenced plot that we use for the garden. But this year, we're going to be putting pigs in here. So the pigs that we're going to be getting are going to be prepping this garden plot for 2024's garden season, making sure that all the roots and things for the weeds that have been growing up, we still got some thistles popping up here and there, all that's going to get cleaned up, tilled up, turned over, rooted up, and fertilized, ready for that 2024 growing season. So even though it's sunny, it's still a little chilly, but I've got Josh out here cleaning up the front yard, picking up sticks from the ice storms that we had a couple weeks ago, trying to clean up all of the pine cones here. Not because we're going to be doing anything special up here, but it's got to get done. So it's a day where everybody's outside, staying busy, getting stuff done. Okay, not everybody. Shelly's inside the kitchen. She's making meals for this upcoming week so that we all have the energy we need to do the tasks we need to do. Well, it has been a long day working outside, and we've made so much progress. These are the old poop slides right here, and you can see really causing some problems. Really has a lot of deformation to it because of the last few years. So yeah, now let me show you what the new poop slides look like. All right, and here we go. These are new poop slides made with corrugated metal roofing, and I'm really happy with how these turned out. Next step here is to wash all of these walls. We're going to keep the corrugated plastic here on the sides of the walls here to help shed all of the urine and feces that might come in contact with it, but we're going to be sanitizing and scrubbing and cleaning this so that we can have the bunny barn ready when I pick up the new rabbits in just a few days. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because we've got a lot of things coming up, and that way you'll be able to see when we pick up the new rabbits. Really appreciate you joining us. Make sure you go out and do something today to cultivate freedom in your life. And until next time, God bless.